Hi, Aries rising sign. Here is your weekly forecast, and we are starting on 15th of June until 21st of June. So this week is all about Venus. Venus is making three aspects to the outer planets, and Venus has moved into the house of creativity, romance, joy, children, and personal self-expression, namely your fifth house, a few days ago. So Venus loves pleasure, fun, and luxury. So its initial entry here brings kind of like an urge to celebrate, dress up, to flirt, to jump into a creative project, or even to treat yourself from like a premium entertainment. You want to be, you want to feel seen, admired. You want to be passionate about your life. However, between June 15th to 18th, Venus is going to run into three outer planets. So this compresses a major romantic, creative, or kind of like a pleasure-orientated story into a 72-hour window. So let's break down how this three-act narrative unfolds. Act one is starting on Monday, June 15th, when Venus is making an electric sextile to Uranus in Gemini in your third house, the house of communication, ideas, short trips, or local interaction. And it actually happens, this aspect happens on the same day with the new moon as well. So expect some excitement. So out of nowhere, maybe an unexpected text message, a highly spontaneous flirtation, a brilliant, innovative, creative idea, all comes into your life. And it might be a thrilling, romantic opportunity. You might have got that idea that you want to be signing up on a dating website, or you want to be taking a short trip with a loved one, with your partner, or even you might want to be upgrading your sex life a little bit, or you just want to be breaking out of a mental rut a little bit, finding new ways, exciting ways to play, to communicate. Now, on June 16th, the energy softens as Venus forms that intoxicating trine to Neptune in your first house, the house of self-image, your presence. So you take that exciting, creative, or romantic spark from Monday and you build a beautiful castle in the sky. In your mind, you start highly romanticizing how this new connection, this creative project, is going to define who you are. You might be imagining that you go to this party and then you're gonna meet, Prince Charming, and you are going to be swept off of your feet. It's something that is a bit cinematic perfection, getting swept up in how amazing it makes you feel. It's the idea of the trip and so forth. You are falling in love with the vision of this romance or idea. However, there's going to be a bit of a sobering element, and that is happening on the 17th because Venus is going to be running into a opposition to Pluto, and I would call it as a bit of a sobering opposition. Um, Pluto is sitting across your 11th house, the house of friendship, social networks, communities, and audiences. So this could indicate falling out someone, for example, at a party, at a social event, or certain type of group dynamics that are kind of like pushing their limits onto you. This could also indicate a power struggle within a friendship circle. We cannot agree where to go on holiday, or we feel kind of like attacked that we are not getting respected, or a hidden truth about an audience member, a friend, can come to light. Something is uncomfortable there. You might even realize that your creative projects or your romantic pursuit is causing you massive clashes with your groups or friends, or even your long-term goals as well. And it can feel like that you have to be compromising your long-term hopes and dreams just for the temporary moment of validation, applause, or romantic moment. So Pluto is stripping the illusion away. It forces a direct confrontation between your personal joy as well as your romantic desires and the raw reality of your social circles, of your true alliances. Now, on the 19th, Chiron is entering the sign of Taurus, which is your second house. And I have prepared a 3 hour live video about Chiron in the sign of Taurus. It is broken down for all 12 signs. So therefore, I'm just going to give you a very short version here. And I'm only focusing on the fact that Chiron is disposed by Venus. So the journey that Venus is going through right now clearly shows that Chiron's self-worth issue that we are meant to be healing is really going to be connected to creative spark, to romantic life, to the ability of raising a child, and so forth. All those things that I have mentioned with Venus in the fifth house before. Remember, Chiron in the second house asks you to look at your relationship, to look at your to look at your relationship with security. And instead of using material extravagance, overspending on luxury entertainment, or seeking external validation from lovers or friends, groups, just to prove your value, this transit invites you to ground your worth. It's time to stop spending, to perform, and start kind of like anchoring a bit of a self-respect, to have the confidence that you are talented at something and you can give birth to a creative project, even though others might be telling you otherwise. Now, on the 20th, Eurydice will be entering the sign of Virgo, which occupies your sixth house, the house of work, routines, habits, health, and physical labor as well. Remember, Eurydice represents danger of looking back, letting anxiety, doubt, or second guessing, kind of like destroying your, let's say, your mental health. This actually gives you the urge to hyperanalyze your schedule, to look for hidden flaws in your health, to kind of you can go back to like starvation, for example, because you feel like that you are not liked by the romantic partner because you have put on 2 kilos and so forth. That was a bit of a heavy emotional period with Venus and Pluto opposition, right? So we can start micromanaging our routines. We can obsess over small mistakes at work, microanalyzing our health habits, replaying the midweek kind of social tension as well. But Eurydice's message is different. It says, do not look back. Do not overthink all these daily chores or the daily stresses to death. Trust the adjustments you made and keep moving forward. We are closing the week on 21st when the sun moves into the sign of Cancer, marking the summer solstice, or yeah, the summer solstice, and immediately makes a sextile to Chiron in your second house. So this is actually, you had a lot of visibility going on this week, right? But this sun says, you know what, I'm ready to rest. I'm ready to recharge my battery. I'm ready to reconnect with my immediate family, with my living space. I'm ready to heal my self-worth. I'm ready to stop spending money, for example, on unnecessary things. I'm going to be focusing on true emotional and physical security sanctuary. I'm going to be aligning my emotional sanctuary with my material security and self-worth. Especially if you passed the Eurydice test on Saturday and you refuse to look back and go into that analytical mode, then it feels like that this is going to be a rewarding moment. So this day is offering you a bit of a nourishing yourself, kind of like sleeping in, taking a hot bath, settling into your foundation, anchoring your value, and building a stable safety. So have an empowering and transformative week, Aries rising sign. I will see you in my next forecast. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and the notification bell so that you don't miss any of my important videos. Bye for now. Take care.